Hey, good morning everyone. This is Roy Niswonger. I've posted a question on Fred Miranda forums about this Rokkor MD Rokkor-X 50mm. I'm having some problems with it. Jim Buchanan has been very helpful in the past in communicating with a lot of these Minolta lenses. Of course, everyone knows he makes some really nice adapters for the 5812 and the 5814. I think he also does work on these as well. One thing I want to say, I don't know how this happens, but so anyway, again, this is the MD Rokkor-X, and here's my dilemma. First, I want to show you guys there's a distance right here on the focus ring, right in between here. I think this is about as default as it gets, and it's about 1 millimeters. When this focus ring turns, something's going on with the threads inside the focus ring that thread onto the helicoid on the lens group, that this distance moves, and I don't know if that's normal or not. So anyway, where I have this setting right now is at infinity. Okay, this is the infinity stop, by the way. So that's the stop. The helicoid here in the focus ring, or at least this part of the housing, is just about flush here, which I think is what I noticed whenever I disassembled the lens. Also, this helicoid can't travel up much further because this ring here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little channel right here that's machined or milled out, and if this helicoid is too high, in other words, the lens group is moved back too far, the lock pin here won't actually fit into this groove, so it can't go up much higher. So I think I'm pretty correct there. Again, I'm at the hard stop. The infinity focus ring is locked. I've got one of the 3 infinity focus adjustment screws tightened down. It's locked. Here is my problem. Okay, again, it's infinity. I've got 1 screw in the locking pin here. I'm all set to operate. So now as I move towards minimum focus distance, the group is moving. This channel here is widening very, very slowly, though. The threads are very thin on the inside of the focus ring, so it is widening, and I can adjust that. I've gone to almost no gap to the maximum gap, and I'm still having this problem. And here's the problem. As I move this way, I'm approaching, things start to get a little sloppy. Right about there's a little bit of resistance. I could probably go back. Nope, I can't go back now. There it is. That's my problem. Right there. So it's locked, and it's kind of sloppy. It's sloppy inside down here where the lock pin is. It's a little sloppy. It's almost like I think I've gone too far. So anyway, the way to reset this and to get this back, I can't do anything else, is to unscrew this, take the helicoid back out, and that's next. Okay, I also think I forgot to mention I'm filming this on the 5D Mark II, and I'm using a really nice older prime manual focus lens, the Kiron 24mm f2 by Kino Precision Japan. Anyway, real quick, here we are with, and my terminology could be mixed up. I'm a rookie at this lens stuff, but I'm really finding a fascination with it. It's a lot of fun. This is, of course, the lens group, all of the elements, and this is the helicoid, right? And this is the focus ring. So here I have these 2 parts, and ever since this happened, I'm thinking something's going on with the adjustment of this, because I may have spun it too much or in one direction too much. But this is the infinity stop. This is the minimum focus stop, and it looks like everything's there, and it's not too sloppy at all. I don't know how much of a gap is supposed to be here, but here's the deal. Obviously obviously these two pieces turn independently. So you've got helicoid threads here, and then on the inside here, on the inside of this housing, there are further threads. Now what I can do to tighten up this this gap is I can go to infinity, loosen it up, move it all the way this way to minimum focus distance, then lock it down, and then further screw this in. Now this gap is 3/4 of a millimeter, okay? Which I think is more appropriate, a little tighter gap here. So again, I don't know what's going on, what I'm missing possibly, that's why I'm doing this video. But so I just basically moved it about 1/4 of a millimeter in, and this is how I reassemble it. Of course, I bring the helicoid back in, and sometimes this goes real quick, and other times I could sit here for several minutes and start to get frustrated. Let me pause this. Okay, that actually only took about 20 seconds. So anyway, so I'm bringing this in, bringing it in. Alright, so it's backed up all the way. I think this is too far. I think that's too far, because if you look, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this raised ledge here has a milled channel here, and I can't get this locking pin to go up into that channel. Okay, got a little pec pad here because of the glass exposed. So anyway, so I'm here and I'm looking at this side of the lens, and it's quite obvious I need to line up these two female holes with a locking pin channel here on the focus ring. So I'm at the hard stop of infinity, right? Yeah, there's infinity. So I can't go around any further that way, but I can move the lens back, which it looks like its attitude is pretty nice, except for right there. That's too far down. I don't know if you can see it, but the helicoid moved down. It's almost a millimeter shy or down from here, and I think that's wrong. And I think too that if I were to loosen up the focus, readjust this so that I can get this to line up and then infinity and all that, it would exasperate the condition where now when I lock it all down and I go to focus, where it falls apart towards minimum focus. So that's why I did this video. It's the Rokkor MD Rokkor-X 50mm. I disassembled it because it had a real grimy, stiff focus action on it. The glass is immaculate. I don't think I've seen glass this clear. You got to really look hard for the dust. I think it's going to be a very nice lens. I'm going to attempt, once I get a mini machine lathe, to because this has aperture mechanics, I'm going to mill down 1 millimeter off of this surface here. Okay, I'm going to take this this lever off for the metering with the old film cameras. They use that so it can open up and then close when it takes the shot. So I'm going to mill that, or just basically cut that off, mill this down in a mini lathe 1 millimeter. Then I'm actually going to use an M32, I believe, to EOS adapter ring that wouldn't fit over this like this. So I'm going to mill out the inside threads. I might actually mill some of this down here on the side, this lip, and because the M32 will give me more meat, I'll mill this surface down flat, maybe a ½ mil, maybe a little less, and then I will mount it this way and have the screws screw into here, through here. So I'll have to buy these longer, this size screws, 1.2M, I think. I'm not sure exactly, but a little bit longer to make that work. That's my end goal. But I wanted to refurb this lens, breathe a little life back into it, get it operating right, but I'm having problems with the focus. So if you have any ideas, please give me a shout. Thanks.